Seidman.
Thanks, Jigs. I'm here.
With the glove. Oh, just got the heel of the stick on it. Short-handed bet here. Do you believe it? He shoots. Peters with a glove save. Save! Hextall. What a stop by Leveler.
Get the action-reaction. Watch NHL hockey.
Edmonton will have a man advantage to open up this third period. They trail the Los Angeles Kings by a score of 4-3. Calgary has eliminated Vancouver. The winner of this game will go to Calgary to open the next series on Tuesday night. Heikkinen backing into his own zone following the face-off. Messier cuts up the middle. The puck went to Curry, and he dumps it in around Laidlaw. Rudy watches it go wide of the net. Duguay took Simpson off the puck. Now Curry puts it in front. Off Rudy and the side of the net as well, and it's Waters clearing the zone for Los Angeles. 55 seconds left in the penalty to Nichols. He's off for holding and called late in the second period. Oilers set it up. Heikkinen with a pass to Messier. It's the play developed, and a turn back as Duguay was all over Huddy. Simpson was in ahead of the puck carrier as well, and now Messier slaps it in around the boards. In goes Curry. Back to Huddy, over to Heikkinen, to Curry, to Huddy. They move it so well. Heikkinen with a shot, blocked in front of the net. This is Mark Messier trying to set up Heikkinen at the point. Messier out-muscled. Waters first of all, now got it to Huddy, and the shot blocked by Laidlaw as they moved it to Curry at the last second, and it's dumped down by the Kings. 10 seconds left in the penalty to Nichols.
Great job by Stevie Kasper, Ronnie Duguay, Tommy Laidlaw, Timmy Waters. Not necessarily your household names in this league, but boy, they've done a tremendous job without that puck.
They've killed off the penalty to Nichols. And now the puck cleared to the blue line for Nichols. Out to Gretzky. Sneaks in around Randy Gregg. Gretzky with a drive. Fuhr kicks it aside, then swats it out of the air, and it goes right to Gretzky. Puts it in front off Nichols, and now the Edmonton goal comes off the moorings. Fuhr got bumped around a little bit, and linesman Ron Finn goes right to the veteran Edmonton goaltender to make sure that he's all right.
Travel arranged through Northwest Airlines, which proudly introduces the most comfortable plane to the Orient, the state-of-the-art 747-400. Northwest, the most experienced airline across the Pacific.
Well, Herb and I have been out here for this entire series, and there are the miles that we've logged up in the top left-hand corner. That is Edmonton's mileage, actually, as they came to L.A. to start the series and up home again, back and forth, 8,300 miles. Edmonton up at the top, and you saw the number of miles involved in the series between Calgary and Vancouver. Not a great deal of travel when you consider 8,300 miles, or when you consider the travel back and forth between the Cap Center and the Spectrum in Philadelphia, what the Flyers and the Caps had in that six-game series.
Travel will take its toll, no question about it. But it's important once you do that travel day, after a tough match, your trainers, your exercise physiologists, doctors will tell you you got to have a light workout that day after to get some of the stiffness out. Stiffness caused by, I don't want to be an academic here, but lactic acid. LA has chartered back after these things, and they've had a little light workout, and maybe has been to their benefit.
Edmonton did not get a workout yesterday. They traveled from Edmonton to LA yesterday morning, arriving shortly after noon, and did not have a practice. Both teams skated here this morning. 2 minutes gone in the third period. Duchesne comes over the Edmonton line. Steve Duchesne with a pass. Knocked out of the air. Contos in after it. Can't get a stick on it. Duchesne does. Neat play at the blue line. What a job by Duchesne. Now the puck comes up to center ice. And Duchesne back in the play once more. He has really improved his skating tremendously.
Well, he's a tremendous young athlete, no question about it. But some of these LA Kings mirror Wayne Gretzky's move. They try to emulate him, and that's one of the Gretzky moves. And Duchesne just did it excellently.
Yoshinsky stole the puck and shot it wide of Fuhr. Kevin Lowe celebrating his 30th birthday today. Kings would love to write 30. The end of the chapter here tonight, and have eliminated the Oilers, but there's still 17 minutes and 17 seconds to play. Waters gave it to Dale DeGray. Looks to Kasper, just overled him a little bit, but Fuhr has to play it. Healy back for Edmonton. Now the Oilers start out. Anderson with a pass to Simpson. 17 minutes left in the third period. Messier to Anderson. His shot blocked at the LA defense. DeGray broke it up. McSorley takes a hit, and the puck spins outside the Los Angeles blue line. Casper chases it. Kevin Lowe dumps it in for the Oilers. It'll be picked up by DeGray. Now to Taylor. Messier right on him. Now Waters takes it out of the corner. Got bumped by McTavish as he gave it to DeGray. DeGray spots a man moving up. It's kicked in off the skates of Taylor. Going after it is Nichols. He took the hit as Taylor took the puck. Dave Taylor back to the blue line, and Weimer's shot went high, but the net is off again. They've had a problem with that all night long. Los Angeles maintaining a 1-goal lead over the Edmonton Oilers.
Introducing Kodacolor Gold 100.
I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors.
New Kodacolor Gold 100 gives you the most accurate colors, the truest colors of any print film.
True colors are beautiful like a rainbow.
Concern on the face of Glenn Sather. You see the note, first among all playoff coaches with a .712 winning percentage. But his team trails 4-3 in the deciding game. Oilers with the puck. Ari Curry, who has one of the goals here tonight. Turns, plays it to Tikkanen. Back to Curry, comes over the line with a slap shot. That was blocked by Laidlaw. The rebound is loose in front. Oh, what a job by Allison to tie up Tikkanen. Or McTavish, rather, on the play. Down the right side, Weimer has given the puck to Gretzky. Held it centered. Allison too well covered. 3 Oilers break out. 2 Kings get back. This is Charlie Huddy. Drop pass for Curry. Now to Tikkanen coming late, and his shot blocked by Allison. The rebound is blocked. Tikkanen turned and shot it wide of the net, and here's Gretzky open on the left wing boards, and out he comes. Gretzky gets to center ice. The puck knocked away from him. Curry plays it to the far side to Huddy. Nichols bumped him, and Huddy put it right on the stick of Dean Kennedy. Can't get it into the Edmonton zone. Up the ice with it is Carson. Carson moves in. Rudy out to make the save, and Duchesne handles the rebound. Steve Duchesne lugs it up the left wing boards, now cuts into the open ice. Good stick handling job. The pass to Robitaille. Oilers tighten up and clear the zone. Nichols with it at center ice. Nichols, good pass to Robitaille. He's hooked and taken down by Carson. Oilers will be shorthanded. Jimmy Carson will take the penalty. We have played nearly 5 minutes of the third period at the Great Western Forum. The Los Angeles Kings are leading the Oilers.
On your path to success, reach for America's strongest financial helping hand, Citicorp and Citibank. More American families own their own homes and attend college with our help, and more get what they want with MasterCard and Visa cards from Citibank than from any other company. We also serve millions of customers in every major marketplace worldwide. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
As the play moved in, Jimmy Carson wrapping the stick around Robitaille. Herb, and that will be the 5th power play chance for the Kings tonight.
Well, it's unfortunate because Edmonton just had just 3 or 4 excellent opportunities. LA's forwards, defensemen blocking shots. This was the best sequence of 2 or 3 consecutive rushes Edmonton had, and now to find themselves, killing a penalty.
Kings set it up. On the blue line, the pass to Nichols, fires one just wide. Gretzky slows it up, gets to it at the blue line, then plays it across off McTavish. Held in by Contos and cleared out by Kevin Lowe of the Oilers. Gretzky at center ice, plays it away from Messier. Nichols taking it here on the left side. Nichols and Duchesne on the points. Robitaille, Contos, and Gretzky up front. That's Gretzky with the puck. Back to Duchesne. Into Nichols. Nichols shoots one. Blocked by Fuhr. Got the catching glove down in front of it. The Oilers failed to clear the zone with it, however. Now Kevin Lowe banks it around the boards. Duchesne hustles to the right point. Knocked it down. It's knocked away. Messier, comes down the left side. Trying to cut in. Rudy pokes it away from him. It's under Nichols. Now covered by Hilly Rudy. And there will be a face-off in the Los Angeles zone. But Edmonton, who are constantly a threat while shorthanded, sprung Messier. Couldn't finish it on.
Well, yes, at the end of a shift, he was tired. Normally, Mark Messier can turn somebody inside out. He's dead tired in this situation as he pokes that puck by Duchesne. Duchesne should have took his body. He missed the puck and he missed the man. Bernie Nichols very intelligently filled in. But now it's a little tug of war there. It could have been a penalty on Bernie Nichols. Andy Van Hellemond was a little bit behind the play, came up, said no call. But as I said, if that would have occurred, the early part of it, Messier would have gone by him.
They're all here tonight. There's Donald Sutherland in the middle of your picture. I guess the Expos game is over, huh? We didn't seem to have a radio or a telephone. He's up tonight to see the Kings. We saw Jack Nicholson earlier. There's so many more on hand this evening. We mentioned Oral Hershiser, who played hockey as a youngster back in the Philadelphia area. Looking at Hershiser and Bruce McDowell, wondering who has the most money these days. And you look now at Robbie Fatorik, just up above Brian Maxwell, the assistant coach, directing people into position here. The Kings get the draw. Allison plays it to the right side. This is Dale DeGray lugging it in over the line. Plays it around the boards. Dave Taylor knocked off the puck momentarily. Lined it up on the boards. Gretzky comes in after it. It's knocked away from him. Tikkanen chases it along with DeGray. There's Krushelnyski on the scene. Drops it back to the blue line. Jimmy Weimer holds it. Fires one just wide of Fjord. Comes off the boards here on the near side and held in by Taylor. Into Gretzky. Trying to get it back to Taylor. It comes outside the line. Weimer recovers with 26 seconds in this power play. Now Taylor at the blue line. Waits for Gretzky to come back. Gretzky handling it. The pass to Dave Taylor. Drops it back to Weimer. Number 2 to Gray. Gray shoots. That's just wide. And again, it comes up the boards and out into center ice.
Both clubs basically going with 9 forwards. They're not using their total bench. We'll see what happens.
Here's Krushelnyski headed for the front of the net. Gretzky's pass was broken up by Messier, and now Curry clears it out to Messier. Mark Messier rushes it over the line, cuts in with a shot. Rudy the save, and Messier goes into the boards after making that play. The teams are at 6 aside again. Anderson gets it back to Lowe. It's knocked away from him by Casper. Hustling back is Jimmy Carson for Edmonton. His pass went to Anderson, now to Messier. Can't get it back to Anderson initially. Knocked it into the corner. Anderson threaded it out in front. Nobody there. But Lowe checked on the boards. Hart Simpson gets bumped as well. Chasing it is Dean Kennedy. Took a hit from Anderson. The Kings trying to come out on the left wing boards and finally able to clear it through center. It's tipped down into the Edmonton zone. Evan Lowe thought there might be icing. Didn't handle it with McSorley right on him. Now in comes Bernie Nichols to steal it. Center, Tonelli couldn't get a stick on it. Jimmy Carson drops it on. Ian Simpson over the line. Carson with a blast off Dean Kennedy, and a collision knocks the LA goal flying again. 12 minutes and 4 seconds left in the third period. Let's pause now for a regional break. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports Channel. What's going through their minds?
They're trying to say to themselves, stay as a unit on the ice. Don't one individual do more than he should. Work as a team, stay with our patterns, we'll get our opportunities.
Same thoughts at the Los Angeles bench. You're up 4-3.
Exactly. They might say, get the puck out, get it in.
Well, they didn't get it out, and Rudy had to kick one out of the goal mouth. The stick came up, it appeared, but in the meantime, Robitaille is over the line. He cuts in, shoots off the post. Luc Robitaille had a chance to extend the LA lead and couldn't do it, and now Carson comes back the other way, and his pass is knocked out of the air. Dave Taylor dumps it down into the Edmonton zone. Collision on the end boards as Robitaille went in heavily. The puck is underneath Bukaboom, and play has been called. 11 minutes and 26 seconds left in the third period. Los Angeles up 4-3. Luc Robitaille had an opportunity to make it 5-3 and hit the post. Luke's going to be on Hollywood Squares next week. We've seen all these Hollywood folks around. Luke's going into the television business, so look for him on Hollywood Squares next week.
You know, the rap, Luc Robitaille is a youngster, but he wasn't a good skater, but he was drafted in the 9th round. 171 players drafted ahead of him. And he has developed the skating. He's worked with a power skating instructor, I think by the name of Laura Stan from out in the East Coast. He's put an awful lot into his game. And he's one of those great pure goal scorers, former Canadian player, junior player of the year. And this kid is just something when he gets those offensive opportunities.
both he and Steve Duchesne work with Laura. In fact, I think she spent some time with the Kings during the regular season working on it, improving it. They watch a lot of videotape, I know. Now the Los Angeles Kings are forced back into their own end of the ice as McTavish moved in with it. The puck knocked away from him. Oilers trying to get it right back to McTavish, and he's wrestled into the corner by DeGray. Puck comes back to Smith for a shot. Rudy steers that to the corner. Here's McTavish sneaking from back of the net. He puts it in the goal mouth. Oilers kick at it, but Rudy has covered the post to the left and spread out. Waters a little slow getting back to his skates. More pushing after the whistle. Capacity crowd, 16,005, standing and applauding the Kings again. We're midway through the third period now. And referee Andy Van Hellemond is headed toward the penalty box. He's got a player from each team going off. Here's some of the action.
Greg McTavish tried just a little wrap around there. We talked about the play of Timmy Waters. Not overly big, but very persistent. Took a big hit down there, trying to push the puck back under Kelly Rudy for that whistle. LA has continued to play sound in their defensive zone, and their defensemen are doing a good job, but they can't do it unless that first forward back stays with his man, and that's been a big key. LA defensemen blocking shots. I talked about Tommy Laidlaw, former All-American, Northern Michigan University. You talk about that guy right there, Timmy Waters, an All-American at Michigan Tech, played in the 1980 and 1988 Canadian Olympic teams with Winnipeg between those two stints. Those two guys have just been outstanding in this series.
They really have. One thing that you and I talked about today was Edmonton couldn't have any passengers. Everybody had to work to the peak of their abilities, and they have. Both teams have come up with excellent efforts tonight. McTavish and DeGray are set off for roughing at the 9:05 mark. Coincidental penalties. Wojciechowski chasing the loose puck into the Edmonton zone, and Randy Gregg stepped in front of him. Now stuck off the boards by Marty McSorley. The former Oiler turns on Smith. The Oilers get to the puck again. Messier with a pass into the skates of Anderson. Simpson can't get over the line cleanly. And out come the LA Kings. Jim Weimer, the former Oiler, flips it high in the air, and it bounces deep into the Edmonton zone, where it's picked up now by the captain, Mark Messier. Cross-ice pass off Anderson at center ice. He picks it up again, trying to get in around Kennedy. Anderson from the short side. Rudy went right across the goal mouth with him, and the puck is loose back of the net. Rudy without a stick. It's nudged back into the goal crease by his defenseman. And the Oilers, in the meantime, are chasing the puck into their own zone. Muni gives it to Kevin Lowe. Lowe plays it out to center over Robitaille's stick. Kennedy chased by Tikkanen. They go to the corner together. Kennedy sits down on the puck and passes it to Nichols, and that'll get a whistle. 9 minutes and 35 seconds left in the third period of Game 7.
Both coaches are faced with somewhat a dilemma to use that 10th, 11th, and 12th forward. Maybe Edmonton should just give some of those guys got to score that goal a little break. If they do that, time goes away from them also. They haven't been used too much, so then it's also hard to get into the flow of things, but those are the things that coaches are going through, both Robbie Vittor's mind, Glenn Sather's mind. Sort of a double-edged sword, if you will, Jakes.
Yeah, in the case of Edmonton, we haven't seen much of Mark Lamb, Jean LeBlanc, or Dave Brown tonight. Basically, 3 lines. And as time ticks down, I'm sure it'll be only 2 as Curry comes out of the corner, rounds the net with it. Larry Curry pulls up, comes back around on the backhander, off the stick of Kennedy and on into the seats.
Dean Kennedy stayed with Yuri Curry, and that's a hard thing to do. This guy is awful tough down there. Curry making little button hooks. Dean Kennedy have to start and stay with him because he has to say to his other partner's got a man, the first forward's got a man. It was his job to get the job done, and he did it just on a sheer persistency. And if one aspect has been the difference, it's been those LA defensemen, sort of unsung people, the Weimers, Laidlaws, the Shanes, Waters, Kennedys have just been awful strong down deep.
And down at the other end of the ice, Grant Fuhr, 22 saves tonight. Only 26 shots by the Kings, only 3 of them here in the third period. Grant came to the Forum last night. Not that he thought there was a game here. he came to a concert. Saw Bobby Brown in concert last night. He sat right behind Mike Tyson. Overheard him telling a couple of people this morning he wouldn't mind playing behind Tyson's bodyguards. A couple of big guys, apparently. If you could ever put skates on them and make defensemen, it might be something that the Oilers would welcome. We pause now for a regional break. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports Channel. Earlier this evening at the Olympic Saddledome, Calgary eliminated Vancouver in overtime, 19-21 into the first overtime period. Joel Otto credited with the goal. Blinsky had fired it. Otto tipped it by the goalkeeper, McLean. So the Canucks are eliminated, and Calgary awaits the winner of tonight's game. Well, this morning, as it is back east. Oilers trailing in Los Angeles 4-3 as Curry puts it around behind the net. Kevin Lowe in deep. Fishing for the puck on the boards. It's knocked away from him. This is Bernie Nichols getting away from Bookabum, who was hacking away. Puts it in the Edmonton zone. Robitaille after it. Steps around Kevin Lowe, but didn't have control of the puck. Now it skips away from Nichols. And the Oilers start out. Curry taking it from Tikkanen. Gets across the Los Angeles line. Curry to Huddy, who was coming late. The shot deflected right to Rudy through a screen. He has covered it, and there's no further play.
We might have a penalty on Steve Duchesne in front, Jigs, for either holding or interference. Again, when you talk about the LA defense been doing a good job, I think you should mention Brian Maxwell, one of the coaches under Robbie Ftorek, handles the defensive core. Has just done an outstanding job with these people. They do have Steve Duchesne with an interference call in front of his own net. Steve Duchesne gives up a little strength in a traffic situation, but he also has some quickness that helps the club under a heavy forecheck. You watch this, a quick shot by Charlie Huddy. Steve Duchesne just pulls down Esa Tikkanen. Esa could not spring loose to try to get that rebound, but I don't know if he could have anyway because Rudy was right on it.
So Duchesne in the penalty box for holding, and Edmonton now with their fourth power play opportunity of the game. Trailing by a goal with 8 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in regulation time. Los Angeles leads 4-3.
Jigs, when I look at a couple youngsters here in LA, I look at Robitaille and Duchesne, one drafted in the 9th round and one a free agent, are two guys that they can build a future around.
Duguay out on the ice to kill off this penalty along with Casper. And the Kings have cleared the zone with it. Chasing it is Steve Smith. Tikkanen directing him to go up the far side. He goes to Tikkanen instead. Tikkanen's pass is onto the stick of Messier. Anderson moving down the right wing with him. Now Simpson comes in on the left side as Anderson handles the puck. Gave it to Messier, to Anderson. To Messier, feeds the blue line. It got away from Tikkanen. Edmonton helping the Kings kill off this penalty. Tikkanen starts out with it. Comes over the center ice stripe and shoots it in. Rudy lets it bounce off the boards. Waters gets to it, then he is checked. Here's Anderson. It's in and out of his skates. Anderson pokes it toward the corner. Messier goes over there as well, and Nichols and Gretzky are out killing it off. Nichols nudged it to Gretzky, and now to Waters. Waters takes a little time, comes to center and shoots it down the ice.
Jigs, LA's specialty teams have outperformed Edmonton throughout this series. The power play and the penalty killing has really been a big difference.
52 seconds left in the power play, and the Oilers can't get over the line cleanly. 7 minutes and 3 seconds left in the third period. Glenn Sather, John Muckler in behind him. Ted Green, the other coach, up in the press box. Los Angeles, you saw earlier, Robbie Ftorek and Brian Maxwell, and their third man is Cap Rader, who sits directly in front of us. Relays messages by a headset to the players' bench.
LA continues to change their forwards fast. They got fresh people all the time. Edmonton is keeping their basic 5-man unit out there. At least their forwards, Jimmy Carson, Messier, Curry, got to find a way to stall for a little time. Very intelligent play by Charlie Huddy. Says something's on the ice, do anything. Grant Fuhr might have to change his stick, fix his pad, do something to slow it down, find that little extra time now so they can get their legs underneath them.
50 seconds to go, and Duchesne's holding penalty. You look at Grant Fuhr. Earlier, you had a look at Kelly Rudy. Duguay talking to Maxwell, the assistant coach. Ron Duguay is going back to talk to Kelly Rudy. He mentioned the other night in the game from Edmonton, the sickness in the Duguay household, it's chicken pox. His wife has a terrible, terrible bout of chicken pox. His 5-year-old daughter brought them home from school. His 19-month-old daughter also has them. But you can imagine with an adult just exactly what they're going through in the household of the Duguays right now. Play is underway. Messier handles the puck. Drops it back to Huddy, to Messier. Messier into the face-off circle, gave it to Curry. Couldn't get it back to Messier. Good heads-up defensive play by Waters. Knocked it away from Curry. Went to Messier. Into Curry. Curry spotted Tikkanen moving in, and he couldn't handle the puck. Now goes back to the net. It was Kevin Lowe, and blew it off the left point, and it's cleared down away from Huddy. 12 seconds remaining, and Duchesne's penalty. Huddy quickly over center ice. Played it off the boards, out of the reach of Messier. Huddy goes in after it. There's Kennedy playing it to the point. Curry dumps it into Messier. Mark Messier with the teams at 6 aside again, puts it back to the net. In after it is Huddy, trying to move it back to the net. He runs into Kennedy. Now Nichols picks up the checking job on Curry, and Messier handles the puck. Got it to the blue line. Lowe back to Messier. It's knocked away, held in by Lowe. Kevin Lowe dumps it in around Nichols. Kennedy back in the play, can't clear it out. Oilers come off the boards, the play broken up. Jim Weimer has Gretzky with him on right wing. He gives the great one the puck. Back to Weimer. Weimer over to Gretzky. Took it in his skates. Goes back to the net with it. Centered it, and the LA goal is off, and there'll be a penalty. The Edmonton goal, excuse me. It was knocked off intentionally. So Andy Van Hellemond is calling a penalty with Los Angeles leading 4-3 in the late stages.
If you ask every American the meaning of success, you won't hear the same answer twice. Whatever your idea of succeeding, Citicorp and Citibank can help. With Citibank MasterCard and Visa cards, Citicorp Savings, Diners Club, and Citicorp Mortgage. We also serve millions of customers in every major marketplace worldwide. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
Kevin Lowe, delay of game at 14:25 is the penalty. There's Wayne Gretzky handling the puck. And now look what happens.
Well, again, we talked about putting somebody on Wayne Gretzky early, and they haven't done it other than a few shifts. And who's going to get that delay of game? But Gretzky's maybe, well, one of his two closest friends, Kevin Lowe. And I'm going through his mind now at 5 minutes and 35 seconds down to goal. Edmonton's got to say, well, let's attack. Robbie Ftorek wisely putting 2 defensemen instead of 1 defenseman, 1 forward on the point. They don't need another goal to win.
And a look at the numbers on the specialty teams for Los Angeles as Taylor plays the puck over the right side with it. And Robitaille puts it back in the net for Nichols. Robitaille parked in front. They can't get it out behind the net. Robitaille, nice move to Nichols. Back it comes to Gray with a big blast. He scores! And there is a mob scene and a big protest on the part of the Oilers. Fuhrer would love to have Andy Van Hellemond disallow the goal. He's claiming there was somebody in the net with him, in the goal mouth, I should say, before the puck went in. Los Angeles celebrates. Edmonton upset. The champs may be on the verge of being dethroned.
It's a great shot by Dale DeGray. He just shot right off that pass. I don't know what they're arguing about, Jigs. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's just a little frustration. Because Dale DeGray just one-timed it back there. I don't see anybody. He might have got bumped a little.
Grant got bumped. He got knocked down before the puck went in. He is upset. Tikkanen upset as well, trying to get Fuhr settled down here. Dale DeGray getting his first goal of this playoff series. A power play goal for Los Angeles. Nichols and Robitaille get the assist.
Usually you don't see Grant Fuhr that hot, but he's mad. He's still way out there. He's just trying to get Van Helleman's direction, get his eyes. He did get bumped on a second look at it. Dale DeGray just one-timed it. Nice pass by Bernie Nichols. Got it down, got it up. Quick shot. I don't know who bumped him, Chase, but he definitely got bumped. Did you get a look at that number?
Dale DeGray, another of the 1988-89 acquisitions by the Kings as Curry fires one off right wing. And now they jam up in front of Rudy. Tikkanen went right to the goal mouth. But the Kings have the puck, being called back now because the Los Angeles goal is off the moorings. DeGray, who scored the power play goal, was acquired in the waiver draft a couple of days before the season opened. Coming from Toronto, they talked the other night about all the acquisitions. The trade last August 9th, was one thing. The little pieces that were put into the Los Angeles lineup to fill out the puzzle have been the great contributors since that time, since the season began. The acquisition of Casper, the acquisition recently of Weimer, DeGray also. There's Dave Taylor bumping the goaltender before the puck went in. That's the reason for Fuhr's complaint.
That's exactly right, Jakes. David just leaned in a little bit. Grant Fuhr definitely has the complaint. But you're talking about just a little pieces falling into place. And every time there might have been a little lull, there's a new player arrived. Dave Taylor, again, has been in this league a long time. Very intelligent, just trying to take the sight line. And I don't think Andy had a look at him. I don't think that David tried to do his back in, trying to tip and screen, but definitely did get it. Dale DeGray, I'm telling you, does shoot the puck very well. He's got a good shot. And again, he just unloaded that thing. Great pass by Bernie Nichols.
Now less than 5 minutes to play in the third period. The Oilers down 5-3 in Los Angeles. Curry dumps it in. Rudy tips it to the left wing boards. Waters putting it back in the net where Allison is tied up with McTavish. And here's Waters. Tim Waters, acquired from Winnipeg. Signed as a free agent, actually. John Tonelli signed as a free agent after having played the last couple of seasons at Calgary. Waters moves it up the left side to McSorley, back into Waters. Now to McSorley. He's bumped from behind, but still managed to move the puck out, and Gretzky has it at center ice. Neat move on Messier. Over the line with Contos, and the play was broken up as they had a little problem with communication, and now Gretzky dumps it in, and the Kings get back onside. They have less than 4 minutes to play in the third period. The Oilers down by 2. Simpson over the line on left wing, shoots one off Kennedy. And the Los Angeles Kings just clear the zone with it. Back goes Anderson. He turns it over at center ice to Kennedy. Plays it in around the boards. Chasing it is Huddy. Into forecheck is Marty McSorley. Huddy gets to it again. Gives it to Glenn Anderson. Bumped by Casper. Got away from him. Now Simpson comes over the line. He gave it to Anderson. Dumps one in front of the net. Rudy makes the save. Plays it up the boards, but not out. The Kings do jab it out of there, however, as Casper did a nice job on the play along with McSorley. Now Taylor comes out to replace McSorley as Kennedy goes to the boards. The Oilers try to jam things at the side of the net, but it's under the right pad of Kelly Rudy. We have 3 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the third period. Los Angeles leading 5-3. This is the 4th time that they faced the Edmonton Oilers in the playoffs. Every time it's been an opening round. They've beaten Edmonton only once. That was called the Miracle of Manchester in the spring of 1982. In 85, they lost 3 consecutive games, went out 3 straight in a best-of-5 series. And then 2 seasons ago, in 87, they were defeated 4 games to 1 by the Oilers as Edmonton marched on to the Stanley Cup.
A little different LA Hockey Club this evening, though, Jigs, in this series. A lot of different personnel. LA is just saying, listen, let's handle our defensive blue line right. Get it out. Any question at the offensive line? Deep in front of us now. Just come out, make a rush, make a forecheck, stay in a back check, stay in a good rhythm, and we're all right.
Now Crossman poking the puck around, Laidlaw poking the puck around the boards. Kevin Lowe moves it back in the net. There's Tikkanen. He got tied up. He gets to it again, however. Tikkanen lays it into the corner for Curry. Curry all the way back to the blue line, finds some room, trying to move around Allison. The puck tipped to Muni. Two men go down in front. Muni held it, then shot it off Allison. And a delayed penalty call is in effect here. Andy Van Helleman looks around, makes the call, and with 2 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the third period, the Los Angeles Kings are going to be shorthanded. A holding penalty. The signal from the referee, Robbie Fatorik, watches as Tim Waters takes his time, ever so slowly, heading for the penalty box.
There's a look of a guy that just had a tremendous series. Played very well. We talked about his partner, Tommy Laidlaw. They paid the price. I don't know how many times tonight shots have been blocked. You just pointed out, Jake's 2 guys were diving in front of those shots. LA has done everything that they possibly could do in their defensive zone. They've been sound, they've been enthusiastic, they finished their checks, taking the body. Look at these 2 guys blocking the shot. You talk about trying to pay, willingness to pay the price. Right, Muni just nice, had some poise and composure. Again, they've done everything in traffic. They've won so many of those little loose battles, and they've been so persistent.
Now the situation developing as the captain, Mark Messier, talks to his teammates. Grant Fuhrer is about 2/3 of the way to the Edmonton bench. Waters off for holding. He had a hold on Carson in front of the net. Glenn Sather with some instructions, and now Fuhrer is going to leave the ice. Los Angeles 5, Edmonton 3. On the ice for the Oilers, 6 attackers.
Well, this is a gutsy call. No question about it. There's plenty of time left. What if they score and then pull a goalie and score? But if LA gets it, it's all over. But again, Glenn Sather, he's got a lot of experience. He knows the percentages.
Curry fires one off the far side. It comes off the boards and out into center ice, recovered by Carson. Over to Curry, Huddy, Simpson, Messier, and Carson moving in now as Tikkanen carries the puck. Tikkanen dumps it back in the net. Kennedy went for it. He was bumped on the play by Simpson. Huddy in deep. Gets it back from Simpson. He's given it to Curry, into Huddy. Back to Curry. Across to Carson, to Curry. Backs up with it. And fed it behind Messier. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third period. Here's Curry with it. Over to Tikkanen, and his shot was blocked by Kennedy. Tikkanen has it again. To the blue line, to Curry, to Tikkanen. Fakes once, played it in deep to Huddy. Fans on it, Rudy down, blocks it and holds on.
Great play by Kelly Rudy, Dean Kennedy, couple big blocks. Ronnie Duguay putting some intelligent pressure on loose pucks. Stevie Casper doing some excellent work down deep. You watch how their forwards cave in and help out. That's an excellent penalty killing unit.
Robbie Fatorik has been so, I guess, misunderstood is the word I'm looking for. He's been much maligned by the media. And really, when you look at this series, when you analyze this series, the job that Fatorik, Maxwell, and Rader had done, the way Los Angeles has taken away the center ice area, the way they have nullified the Edmonton power play in this series, albeit Messier playing hurt. Simpson, we understand, is hurt a little. They're not going to tell you about that, though. And Carson has it knocked away. Here's Gretzky, the final hurrah. picture said it all. Wayne Gretzky's fourth in the playoffs into an empty net. That has sealed it. It is 6-3 Los Angeles. You see the reaction at the Oiler bench. Charlie Huddy, Kevin Lowe, the heads down as Gretzky from Casper with Edmonton on the power play. It's a shorthanded goal and an empty net goal for number 99. He left Edmonton last August. He has just taken his Los Angeles Kings team. He's just taken his new mates to a new height. And they'll go to Calgary for Tuesday night.
That goal for Wayne Gretzky. Again, he's broke another record. Broke the Los Angeles Kings scoring record here in the playoffs.
He has just tied Mike Bossy for the most playoff goals, and he'll have another series coming up. Randy Gregg with a shot deflected in front of Kelly Rudy. The Oilers unable to hold it at the line. And Fuhr, of course, back out on the ice. This crowd is standing, as you might well imagine, at the Great Western Forum. The Kings are about to go to the division final against Calgary. Here's Messier. Back it comes to Gregg. Into Messier. Back to Gregg for a shot that's blocked in front. Dean Kennedy trying to clear it out, cannot. Mark Messier threads one across. It skips away from Smith, and with 44 seconds left, the Oilers set up at center ice. The teams are at 6 aside again. Messier over the blue line, turning with it. The fans begin to litter the ice. Duchesne moves the puck smartly to Kennedy. Up to Bernie Nichols, dumps it in over the line. Gretzky in after it. Gretzky pulled it away from Messier. Parks back of the net. Centers it out in front. Here's Steve Duchesne, and Fuhr makes the save. Duchesne picks it up again. Backs up toward the point, gives it to Nichols for the hat trick, and Fuhr makes the save and covers it with 13 seconds left.
Down 3-1. They've just continued to battle. And again, it's that number 99, how he can rally a hockey club. They've been focused all year. As you pointed out, Jigs, every time there might have been a little plateau, Rogie Vachon found a way to keep the club on track. And he's intelligently built this hockey club, yes, with some help from Mr. McDowell and some money at the start, but some very astute moves.
The reaction is that of Kevin Lowe as he broke his stick over the boards. Man, oh man. Champions 4 times in the last 5 seasons, about to be eliminated by the Los Angeles Kings. There'll be a new Stanley Cup champion in '89. Curry is checked at the line. The Oilers bring it in offside. 3 seconds. They're celebrating. They've ticked off the last 3 seconds, even though the play stopped with 3 seconds left at an offside. We know that it's elementary. Robbie Fattori, as I said before, much maligned, has guided the Los Angeles Kings to a victory in Game 7 of the series with the Oilers. And listen to this crowd. Handshake, that's John Muckler. Glenn Sather was the first to congratulate the coach, training staff. And now the traditional handshake. And this is going to be emotion-packed as several of the Oilers and several of the Kings who switched uniforms will meet. And that man, Kelly Rudy, a hero again. And there he is, number 99, Wayne Gretzky. All eyes on Wayne Gretzky at the moment. There are so many heroes. We talked about Kelly Rudy. We've talked about the way the defenses come together, and you can't overlook number 15, Chris Kontos. Another goal, is 8th in this playoff tonight. That gave Los Angeles a 2-1 lead at the end of the first period. Just saw him shake hands with both John Muckler and Glenn Sather. And now here's Wayne Gretzky again. 2 goals tonight, an assist as well.
Tonight at 7:35 against the Flames with Game 4 of the
What can you say, Jigs? What can you say about that man? He started an opening night here, and it's continued on. And I think we're just witnessing something so special in the world of sport. What he has done.
That's taken it and Curry now after the hug between Yari Curry and Gretzky. It's a taken in and Wayne, John Muckler and Wayne, and now Glenn Sather and Wayne, and it didn't take long, did it? The training staff, friends. That's Lyle Kacheski, Sparky as he's known, and the defeated coach, president and general manager of the Oilers, Glenn Sather. It's going to be difficult to accept. The critics will have a field day with this. And at the other end of the ice, Bruce McNall. What a way to celebrate his 39th birthday. Bruce, I hope you're 39 forever. What a refreshing gentleman, and what a great night it has been here for this hockey fan, or this hockey crowd in Los Angeles. They too have been maligned over the years. I think back to 1967 when this franchise was born, and everybody pointed to the 500,000 former Canadians who lived in the area. Oh yeah, they come out to see the Toronto Maple Leafs or the Montreal Canadiens, certainly not 500,000 strong. People who had moved here from Chicago came out to see the Blackhawks. They come to see the Bruins. Now they come to see the Kings. For the first time in 22 seasons, the Kings have given them something to cheer about. And they've eliminated the Edmonton Oilers in 7 games.